such a kind words. But Ray said, I am partner and a friend. In this journey for last 35 years, if I really call somebody partner and friend, that is really great. I have not seen anybody, not from Indian origin, his passion, his zeal, and the amount of time he spent to build up US-India relations, it is unheard of. By the way, people who don't know, as you said, he is a Duke undergraduate, Harvard Law. He was the state assemblyman in Virginia 3 times, and he was Assistant Secretary Commerce. And then worked with us and worked with Rick and number of people here whom we work with. And it is such a great pride that Ray Vickery, who is American by birth and a legislator, believes so much into US-India relations. And he was the one who worked with Ron Brown and called India's emerging market. So Ray, thank you for what you do. And one thing I wish that my wife was here. Your kind words, my introduction, she would have been very happy. But you did a very, very good job. I have a number of people here whom I should recognize. Rick Rosso is here. I remember Rick was a young man working at the US-India Business Council and worked closely with him during Clinton's trip to India, and we worked together. At that time, Michael Clark was the head of US-India Business Council. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the US-India Friendship Council Capitol Hill Summit 2026. Thank you for taking time and out today to join this timely and essential conversation about the future of US-India relations. I think it is very important that we have dialogue, that where we are going, because it is a pivotal moment in the relationship. Also, I don't know how many have seen Ambassador Bharma, and he was another pioneer who worked on the US Senate's office of Senator Harry Reid. And he was the main guy, legislator guy on the Senator Harry Reid's office. And I got to know him when he was with Senator Reid. And it was such a great pride that he was the first Indian American become the US ambassador to India. Never happened. So Rich, you have done such a great job for the community. Together we came long way. Today, the United States and India cooperate closely in defense, critical technology, energy, healthcare, and supply chain and whatnot. Those of us who really spend time in the Capitol Hill and in Washington and watch this, what happened to US-India relations, it is just amazing. We never thought the relationship will be that good, and we have seen that transformation. Let me go back to the memory lane. Then how was the relations was in the 90s? I think it is very important for the people who are here first time to listen to this. In my early days of political activism, which is early 1990, India was viewed with suspicion. is a part of Soviet bloc, a country with chronic poverty. In the geopolitical chess game, it was a country to manage, not partner with. And I remember when we worked very hard at Indian American community, as Ray showed very well, the rise of India's economic power and America's interest in containing China and the activism of Indian American community with the bipartisan support of Congress, US-India relationship fundamentally altered. We worked tirelessly to make sure that President Clinton visits India in year 2000. We also worked very hard with India and US counterpart to make sure that his trip is a successful one. After his trip, as you know, that India did the nuclear test, as Ray was mentioning, 1998. But India did not sign the NPT, so US government, President and the Congress, put sanction on India. So we worked hard to lift the sanction against India. And that happened in year 2000 after the trip. But our most prominent success of Indian American community is the US-India Civil Nuclear Deal, which was signed in 2008. It has never gone through United States Congress unless the Indian American community working with bipartisan Congress and the US businesses work together. It ended India's 34 years of nuclear isolation. And the deal is a symbol of US-India relationship touching new heights. Now, you know, after the nuclear test, when the deal was being signed at the White House, with President Bush signing the bill, I was sitting on the front room. I was privileged because worked closely with White House to lobby this bill. And this man sitting there in the front, Ambassador Bharma, I got to know him that time. And he helped us also to steer us in the proper direction. The Ray, US-India Business Council, the Rick Rosso, and community, we done a fabulous job. When I went to my friends in Washington and used to fly from North Carolina and used to meet them, their friend I know long time, when I went and talked to him about US-India civil nuclear deal, he said, Swadesh, don't waste your time. Go back home. While you are spending money coming here, it is DOA. I have never heard this word. What is DOA? I said, Gary, what is DOA? He said, it's dead on arrival. He said, President Bush can go and tell whatever he wants in Delhi. That doesn't mean anything. Democratic controlled House, democratic controlled Senate. So President Bush can have any agreement with Dr. Manmohan Singh, but this is not going to go anywhere. I was very disappointed. So I went back and I was thinking, I made 77 trips to Washington from 2005 till 2008. Only reason is US-India civil nuclear deal. But that put India in different stage of the world in the global power. Now, over the years I have learned to appreciate really what is the bedrock of this relationship. But it is really the people to people relations in an open society. The story of this relationship is also the story of students, entrepreneurs, innovators, families, and immigrants who have helped to bring this relationship together between the two countries. At this core, this partnership is strengthened by our shared democratic values and belief in opportunity. But as the world is changing, as we face growing economic uncertainty, a rapidly technical revolution, devastating war in Europe and the Middle East, and historic challenges in the Indo-Pacific, the US-India relations must not falter. Now more than ever, it must continue to grow in ways that promote prosperity and security for both countries and the rest of the world. So it's quite natural though, that when we have a deep relationship, there will be misunderstanding. Whenever you are married, husband and wife will misunderstand. Husband and wife will have challenge. US and India were married. So now there is misunderstanding and there are disagreements. So what is the recent disagreements? But it is visible about trade, immigration, and energy. And it is a reminder to all of us that we really have to carefully, I'll say, cultivate it and continuously nurture. US-India relations cannot be on autopilot. So I really feel that we should listen to the congressman, senator, and see what they are thinking going forward. That is why I say today's gathering is very important. As we are the inflection point in our relationship, our goal is to better understand how Congress is thinking about India. Some of the leaders about where the relationship should be headed in the near future and what we can do together so that this relationship can sustain the way it was. This conversation we have today can help shape the future. We are honored to have you all join today, and I look forward in a thought-provoking and exciting discussion. Thank you. Now, I think